All right, guys, we're back again for another episode of Brushing Them Back with Colby White. We were scheduled for Sunday, had a few delays, and we're doing it now on a Tuesday. Today's episode is a live Q&A with our namesake, Colby White. If you've got a question that you want to ask him, jump on this live feed and ask it. He said he's willing to answer it. Within reason, guys. Don't ask something crazy or insane. Try to get him in trouble with his fiance and stuff like that. No, let's don't do that. Let's ask him. Let's try to stick to some baseball related stuff. Kobe, first of all, how you doing, brother? It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on here. I know you said earlier before we got started how much you.
Oh yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm just glad to be back, rocking and rolling. Excited for the season. Excited to hopefully have a healthy year. So yeah, good to be back on the pod. Good to be talking baseball. See, calendar changed and it's getting close.
Well, Kobe and I both, hope everybody that tunes into the show had a fantastic Christmas and New Year's. We had to take a little break ourselves. We need to get the batteries recharged. We were both exhausted from doing this. We didn't start off as YouTube or TV people. We started this show off as a audio, and it was a lot easier when it was audio. Just sit down, record it, and put it out. But we are learning as we go, and we are thoroughly enjoying the process. That is for sure. We're going to make Colby a superstar. I mean, a TV star or a movie star before this thing's over. Isn't that right, Colby?
I don't know if you can turn it into that, man, but we'll see.
All right, now, like I said, if we have any questions that want to come in live, go ahead and drop them on here, and we'll try to get to everything that we have. Throughout this previous week, as we were getting ready for the show on Sunday, this was the original format for the show anyway, we had some folks that were submitting questions through different social media, Twitter, IG, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And I've tried, I was running behind schedule today. I tried to get some of them keyed in. There's 3 or 4 that I know I missed. I apologize for that. If we don't get a chance to cover it, or if we get super busy with questions that we were discussing before we started, that we'll just have a second episode and we'll clean this up. So, Kobe, you about ready to answer some questions? Let's go ahead. Let's see. Let me pull a few up here and let's get started. Yeah, Kobe wanted to know. He wanted me to tell him a little bit ahead of time what was going on with like Cliff Notes version. I said, no, that takes all the fun out of it. So let's start off with a good one right off the bat. Colby has always said that he wants to inspire young people. And when I say young people, I mean little boys and little girls. I'm not talking about teenage kids because you can't show them nothing. They're hard-headed anyway. So we're going to start off with Tyler. Let's see. Let me get Tyler's question up here. Tyler from Corinth, Mississippi. He's 9 years old. He shared with the information he sent me that he's a pitcher also. So he wants to ask Colby a question. It says, Colby, what is your favorite pitch? Of course, after the fastball. And could you show me how you grip the baseball while throwing it?
So first, obviously, a lot of people like throwing fastballs. I like to say I love throwing fastballs because there's no more of a shooting match than with me and the batter when I throw a fastball. But my second favorite pitch to throw is a pitch that I just brought back in 21. Was a splitter. I didn't really throw it in college at all. Very little. It was kind of hit or miss. But I've kind of used it to where when they start getting into swing mode, what I like to call swing mode, when they're just swinging out of the hand, I'll throw the splitter, and it has a lot of movement. It's mainly, it has depth and a little bit of arm side run. But this ball has pitch grips on it. I actually stole from a guy. I guess I'm supposed to give it back. Didn't give it back. Forgot to, and I still got it. But anyway, this is my splitter grip. I'm basically on the seam. Some people call it like a fork ball, whatever. But I leave a little space there, and I'm mainly relying on these 2 fingers having equal pressure. And when it comes out, it's going to have a little bit of backspin, and then as it carries through the zone, it starts getting slow top spin, and then it starts tumbling. It's not as late movement as a lot of other splitters. It actually kind of looks like a curveball. There's a video on Twitter of me throwing it in spring training this year. It kind of bailed me out a little bit, but the announcer said it was a curveball. I think it was pretty slow when I threw it then. I choked it down a little bit, but yeah, that's my splitter. And this thumb, I really just use it to let the ball rest on it. And this is not a stiff wrist pitch for me. Some people throw it as a stiff wrist pitch. I'm more loose. I want to get out in front. If I get behind it or get underneath it, it's just going to ride up and sell, and it's not going to do good. Yeah, threw it in high school. There was one game, I can't remember exactly who we were playing, but I had either a 16 or 18 strikeout game throwing it. So it plays really good off my fastball. I have a carry backspin fastball, and then my splitter is more top to bottom. I do throw a slider too, but I really don't throw it with as much conviction as I should. But yeah, my splitter is my favorite pitch. But the first thing I want them to answer to is my fastball. I feel like as a young kid learning to pitch, if you can throw a good fastball, it doesn't have to run, doesn't have to cut, doesn't have to do whatever. It just has to be a strike. Throw it hard, throw it for a strike. It ain't even necessarily got to be the perfect pitch. Just don't be scared to throw it over the plate. Hitters aren't as good as we give them credit at any level. So, yeah, splitter it is.
Well, that was a fantastic question from the young man from Corinth, Mississippi. Little man, I'm not even going to tell you. Colby wasn't even sure where Corinth, Mississippi was. Now he's curious. He might have to make a trip there and see if he can find you. All right, now we were really fortunate when we first started this show. Like I said, we were audio based, and I'll never forget the first 2 or 3 episodes we had. I pulled up the analytics of the show, different things about the show, and I shocked Colby when I told him that we had viewers outside the United States. He could not wrap his mind around that. And one of the places that we have viewers from is, of all places, Ukraine. And we have a question from the Ukraine tonight for him. And I hope I don't butcher this name. I'm going to say it is pronounced Lorik. Lorik from the Ukraine, and I'm sorry, I don't know if male or female, just Lorik. In your country, are you considered a major leaguer? The context on that is they hear – we talk a lot about the minor leagues. We talk about the minor league system. So I'm thinking that Lorik is trying to get a little clarification. Are you considered a major leaguer here in the United States?
Well, until I throw a pitch in the big leagues, the major leagues, MLB, I'm not considered a major leaguer. Now, I'm on the major league 40-man roster right now, but there's a ton of guys that have been on that and haven't been big leaguers, hadn't got the call, hadn't got called up, stayed on the 40-man for a year or whatever happened. So no, I'm not considered a major leaguer. And I don't even know how to put this. It would kind of be shameful for myself, if I were to tell people just even that I got put on the 40-man that I was a major leaguer. Because that kind of, to me, that kind of undervalues the guys that've been there and done it. It's a special thing for anybody to get to the big leagues and play in the big leagues, and for me to would even consider that'd be kind of a slap on the face to them. So no, I'm not a major leaguer. Hopefully we'll be this year or in the coming years, but as of now, I'm not.
All right, good one. We would like to thank our international listeners and viewers. We appreciate all of our folks, especially those that take time halfway across the world to check us out. All right, let's see. Let's jump into the next one. We've got Trey. This was sent to us through Facebook, based out of Virginia. He's asking, what is the timeline for your post-surgery and recovery?
So I am, I don't know exactly when they're going to let me loose. Tentatively, I have been told beginning of June I will be in games competing again. I'm sure I'm going to have to go through the whole rehab cycle for us, getting some rookie ball innings, which I hadn't played in rookie ball. That's going to be kind of interesting. And then going to hopefully back to Durham to throw my competitive innings. I don't know, I have no idea what that time frame looks like. I had surgery April 4th of 2022. I believe this next week I'll be throwing off the slope. I had to look back at my schedule, but I'm at 5 days a week right now playing catch. I'm feeling really good. It was very well needed, and I've just been smooth sailing, trying to stay consistent with this and not trying to push it too much too early, but also not trying to do the bare minimum. Every day I wake up, no matter how well the day went, I kind of feel like I didn't do enough. And far as going through surgery and missing a year of baseball, that's your fears, is wondering if you did enough. And I don't want to set back and have to go through this again. So, but yeah, it seems like my timeline's beginning of June. I'm sorry. And worst case scenario is I pitch at the end of the year. But yeah, feeling great. Arms brand new. It's not. I haven't went through any of the dog days, so to speak, with it yet. So I'm very thankful for that.
All right. We have got another timeline question. That's going to be G Money 129. Do you have a time frame in your mind to pitch in the MLB? Chasing the dream.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you want to get there as young as you can, because I guess Father Time doesn't slow it for anybody. Your body's going to tweak down, and especially how I pitch, max effort. One day my fastball is going to go down. Hopefully it's later rather than sooner. But I was really hoping to make a debut last year. Obviously, God had other plans, and injury struck me, which I have been thankful not to have faced that adversity for as long as I did, because everybody knows that if you're going to pitch in the big leagues, you're going to face a good bit of adversity, But hopefully something good happens this year. I don't know, September, October. I get done with my rehab whenever, and they're confident in the durability of my arm, that I can go out there and throw innings, important innings, and maybe get a shot at the show this year. If not, I'm still thankful to be able to have a chance to play the game and pitch at any level, because it's just a blessing in itself. But yeah, certainly in the back of my head, I want to get to the big leagues this year if possible. Now, I don't know Tommy John. I haven't went through it. I don't know what the plan the Rays have for me, but I know that God's plan and the Rays plan molded together is going to be a good one for me. So, yeah, just kind of trusting that, and not trying to get too antsy, because it's very, very easy as a player, especially at my age, which I feel kind of old now, but to get antsy. But you learn from things, I was so ready to get back to the year last year and ended up getting hurt, and it delayed it a little bit more, because I really felt like I had a pretty good shot in 22. But yeah, hopefully at the end of the year next year sometime.
Yeah. As old, you're starting to feel old. I love that. I got shoes in my closet older than you. All right, let's see. Let's stay on the trend of timelines here. Here's another timeline question. This comes from, and I'm assuming it's a Mississippi State fan, I guess. It's Bulldog Baby. Do you ever plan on returning to college to finish your degree? And if not, do you believe you may one day regret that decision?
Well, I feel like anything with life, you make decisions based upon happiness. And I can honestly say, sitting in front of a textbook, I'm weighing, the risk and the reward. And with the kind of degree I was going for, it wasn't a prideful, like, I want this degree. That's one of my accomplishments. My accomplishment, never in the back of my head did I think it would, be a feather on a cap for me to say I got a degree. And that sounded like I just cussed right there to some people, but I wasn't a school guy, and that's okay. I'm very confident and passionate about where I'm at right now. And my dream has always been just to pitch in the big leagues as long as I can. And baseball has always been my dream, And if it ends one day and I have to have it, I'll go get it. I'll go do that. But it's not really the top of my priorities. And, and it's cliche. I kind of break the cliches a lot with me, but it's good for people that want their degree. I got an AA degree. I don't have a bachelor's, and I'm very close to being able to get a bachelor's degree. But I honestly would not regret it unless time comes that I have to have it. Then I'll go get it. It's still going to be paid for. So for me, I have one goal in mind. I'm burning the boat on everything else. There's no plan B. I feel like if you're sitting there thinking about, I'm going to put some of my eggs in this basket, some in the other, then you shorten both baskets. I'm all in on one, and then when it takes away from me, then I'll go to the other. So no, I will not regret that decision one day, no matter what salary or whatever comes my way.
Although, to be fair, you've said this on a few occasions, you thoroughly enjoyed your time at both Pearl River Community College and at Mississippi State University. You would not
Yeah.
have swapped those two experiences for anything.
No, exactly. No, I'm not saying anything about the college experience. But here's the thing: if you took this away from either one of those places, I would not have wanted to go there. I would have wanted to work or do something else.
I understand. All right. Thanks for the question. Let's see what we got next here. How about here's a good one right here. Charles, and I'm going to assume this is from Louisiana, not LA. Could be LA. I don't know. Were you part of the Rule 5 draft? And then there's a follow-up question. Is that a possibility every year that you're in the MILB? I thought they said MLB, but that's MILB. So were you part of the Rule 5 draft, and is that a possibility every year that you're in the minors?
Okay, so basically the Rule 5 is for every guy that is a non-40-man guy. No matter if you're in the minor leagues or not, if you're on the 40-man, you are not able to be drafted in the Rule 5 draft, either phase, major league or minor league. However, if, let's say, something happens and I was taking off the 40-man, the following 2 years, 2023 and 2024, if I were taking off the 40-man, I could be drafted again. So this, I guess it was the beginning of December or maybe late November. I can't remember the date, but I was activated to the 40-man or put on the 40-man, however you want to word it, and was not eligible for the Rule 5 draft. And that's their form of protection. You hear that word, such and such, you get protected. So if I'm not mistaken, when you get drafted, you have a 7-year contract, whether you're a high school kid or a college kid. And with a high school kid, on your 5th year, you're Rule 5 eligible if you're not on the 40-man. And which actually, if you're 19, it's not high school entirely. If you're 19, it could be your 4th year too. College guys are 4th year, unless they're under 19, which that would only be junior college freshmen or high school kids. And if you're a high school kid that's 19 and gets drafted, it's 4 years you got to be on the 40-man or you're Rule 5 eligible. But no, I was not part of the Rule 5 draft, and hopefully will never be if all things go smooth.
Okay. So maybe I misunderstood what you just said. You were not part of it, and you, in the situation you're in now, it would not be a possibility in following years.
As long as I stay on the 40-man, there's no shot that I'm still technically protected the following years. But like I said, if I don't know if it would technically be called designated for assignment off the 40-man. I don't think that's how it works, but they can take you off the 40-man, and then now you're open to basically 29 other teams during the Rule 5 draft, depending on which roster I'm on or at the time or anything like that.
Okay. Now, there was a question I didn't get a chance to key it in for our viewers to check out. I want to say it's a young lady. Something started with an R. Raylan maybe was her name. I don't remember. I can't find my that's what I was looking for, my paperwork. She actually, the Rule 5 is what clicked in my mind. She said she hoped that you would have been part of the Rule 5 draft because she wanted to see you go to her favorite team, the Atlanta Braves. So we've talked about this. If you didn't make it with the Rays and you had to pick a dream team, you would love also to go to the Braves, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you grow up here in the South, there's 3 teams, the Rays, the Braves, and Astros, those 3.
That's straight trapped in the triangle, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, trapped in the triangle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Raylan, and I think it was Raylan, I apologize. I like I said, running behind, didn't get a chance to get your question in the queue. And since he's already addressed the Rule 5 situation, unless they decide to trade him, that's the only way he's going to end up on your favorite team. So, all right. So I've really tried to avoid this question because you wanted to try to keep it as close to baseball as possible. But we have a TA from Alabama, and you and I both know a TA from Alabama. But after reading this question, I just don't think it's the TA we know. So let's put it up here. Let's see what we got. All right. TA from Alabama. How does your lady feel about life working its way around baseball? I got to assume it is because of a certain event coming up in your future that question was asked.
Yeah. Yeah, she makes a ton of sacrifices. But she knew that coming into it. I've always been a ball player. We started dating when I was at Pearl River. I was 2 hours away from her. 2 hours away from her when she was at home, and then at State, I was an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from her during that time. Short season, we've always been apart. And then she's made a ton of sacrifices and kind of put her life on, I guess, hold for a little bit, just kind of planning things around baseball, and heck, had to plan our wedding around baseball, which I'm not sure, if she would have rather did a different time of year, all that, but that option kind of went out the window, So I'm very thankful for her, very thankful for the sacrifices she makes. I don't tell her enough. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's probably harder on her than it is me, because I got something to occupy my time for 10, 12 hours a day, training and doing whatever, which is not saying it's not hard on me. It is. But that's part of it. When you try to chase the dream, there's a bunch of people besides the player that makes the sacrifices. So, but she does good with it. I'm not saying there's not hard days for her, but she's very supportive and does things the way she should, I feel like, so.
Well, we can expand that question. I mean, it's everybody around you that's made some concessions and sacrifices to help you chase this dream. And one thing I can say about you, because I've been around you quite a bit, is you don't ever take any of that for granted, ever. I've never heard you say or do anything to make me believe that you don't appreciate everybody that's around you, your support circle. And, because you're chasing a dream. You said it yourself. What did you say? You're burning the boat? I'm going to have to remember that.
That's all I want.
Burning the boat. I'm burning the boat. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, man, this is what's crazy. And this is not even relevant to the question just asked, but talking about burning the boats. I heard that at Pearl River. And, from the time I was, 6, 7, whatever, I started noticing everything about baseball and soaking up everything, every piece of information about baseball. That's all I wanted to do, And for me, I'm the kind of person that can't give up on things, like whether it be a person, whether it be whatever. And that's been a hard thing of mine, because sometimes it'll get me in trouble, because hey, I don't need to be fooling around with this or doing it. But that's the same thing with baseball. I'm not one, when baseball ends for me, it is going to break me. And I'm probably going to try to pursue something else in baseball, when I'm able to not play. Because I understand just from rehab this year what people talk about, when it gets taken away from you for a little bit. And that kind of goes into that with the degree thing and all that. I don't want to be halfway in. I want to dive in. And if I drown, I drown. But I know I went all the way in,
We got there's a couple more questions on here that I see popping up. We got a local Marion County super fan on here that I want to go ahead and put up. Got a question for you. You probably know this guy, Chad Wilde. You familiar with him? He said he's praying for you. He's been praying for you, Colby, and he wants to know, going into the season, how many pitches are you going to have at your disposal?
Okay. Well, first of all, I appreciate the prayers, Mr. Chad. They definitely been shown with how this rehab's going through. And I'm thankful just how stuff has played out for me, able to be more at home, because normal rehab year, you're gone the whole time, So, yeah, I can definitely feel the prayers. I appreciate it. But I'm going to be mainly throwing a fastball. I want to go back to my splitter more. I'm not quite sure if that is kind of what I don't know if it had some play in me getting hurt, because I've and that'll be something I talk more with the Rays. But a lot of guys that have elbow injuries throw splitters. I don't really know of anybody that's thrown a splitter that hadn't had some kind of Tommy John or UCL repairment or something like that. And it could be a coincidence. So I'm going to throw a fastball, slider, splitter. And I really think my splitter is been a tremendous help to me, to lefties. So, that's just that's just kind of, I'm gonna go back with what I have and try to keep it how I had it, and just sharpen up everything and try to get back command and feel for every pitch, But really excited about throwing some splitters again. It's gonna feel good.
All right, we were going to try to keep this at about 30 minutes. I told you, I was going to try to my best keep it around 30 minutes. And I see one more question on here. I was scanning through. I want to try to get as many of them in as I could. I want to get this one because when this question came up, it blew my mind because you and I, we chat pretty frequently, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't let this get by without at least mentioning it to me. All right, we got Trace coming off Instagram. Couldn't figure out where he was coming from on the state. Where were you part of a trade rumor earlier this offseason?
Oh, man, I have heard, I guess, numerous trade rumors, and I've had people tell me. So when you got, I guess it was around 2018, 2019, when you're talking to scouts and stuff, you fill out little questionnaires with information of contacts and old coaches and whoever, people that's worked with you with pitching, any kind of thing, family, friend, whatever. And I've had people actually tell me that, cross-checkers or whoever, people from different organizations have called them asking for questions on me and stuff like that. And a few times it's been after the fact. And then obviously I'm not dumb. I get on the internet and I type in my name on Twitter and put Rays behind it and just see what's being said, because I want to be kind of filled in because there's so much uncertainty in professional baseball. So I don't, off the top of my head, I don't really remember exactly what time frame there's been trade rumors talking. And I try not to play GM too much because that's when it kind of gets rough. But I will say this: I'm very thankful to have this logo on. Hopefully, we have a bunch more good years, and I get to be a part of it. So I mean, they bought into me from the beginning, and obviously, like I said, I'm all in the boat with them. So I don't really try to look into it too much. Now I do get worried if I see a certain team on there and think, man, I'm about to get traded. I'm about to not be a Ray anymore. So, but yeah, I don't know exactly one, off the top of my head that was a rumor, So
yeah, I don't know where that actually grew legs because it would seem like you'd be the farthest thing from a potential trade because was it not yourself and what's the guy's name, Taj Bradley?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the guy's name, Taj Bradley? He's like y'all's top starting pitching prospect, and you're the top relieving. They added y'all to the 40 man. That should have squelched any kind of trade rumor talk.
Well, I think maybe I had kind of read something on there, and I don't remember a team or anything like that, but I had, right before the trade deadline, I felt like they were trying to trade their prospects they were thought they would lose. So my thing is, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the Rays, if they were going to trade me, maybe they thought that there was a chance I was going to get Rule 5, and, they're going to trade me for somebody younger that's not Rule 5 eligible, and then they don't lose value, and that might have been a thing that was thinking, okay, well, he's not going to get protected because he's injured or, his talent isn't where it needs to be to get protected or whatever it may be. And then they say, well, we're going to trade him. And I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't, obviously I don't know. I remember seeing stuff during the, I guess it was a 2021 season. Was hearing stuff before the deadline. But the thing I started realizing is that there's a lot of good players that can be replaced, not necessarily saying with just the Rays, everybody. It's a business. And as players, you don't really like it that much, but it might be getting traded to a team in a location that you don't like. And it's unfamiliar and whatever, but hopefully I don't get traded. Hopefully I play 15 years with the Rays, have a good career, and retire with them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, Colby. We were going to wind it down. I was going to let you give just a little quick wrap up, talk about your spring training report dates, all that kind of stuff. But we got one more I got to get in here. This one's going to come up either Wally, but it is your number one super fan in Marion County. It's Bryden Wally is actually who it is. And it says, "Hey Colby, this is Bryden. The live feed chat wouldn't work on my phone, so I'm using my mom's. But what days do you do hitting and pitching at the training school, and how much is it?"
Okay.
Hey, now what you got?
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
This is the wall right here, big man.
Yeah, man, we do. We work with hitters and pitchers 4 days a week. We do for like 2 hours. It's $20 for each session. And yeah, we try to work on everything and try to assess needs. Like, whatever you come in and say, "Hey, I need to get better at," we're gonna go to work with you on it, and we're gonna improve it. We're gonna do everything we can to improve it. And if we ain't got an answer for you, we'll find one. We'll do enough research, find drills, find theories, techniques, whatever, and try to fix it. And speaking on the training subject with kids, that's something I'm pretty passionate about. But for me, it's kind of, to me, I find myself lucky that I have played around so many guys that have a in the baseball world have so much knowledge, to be able to help. So, there'll be a kid that I've never seen anything or I can't relate to that much because it wasn't how I done it. Well, if I go and talk to Tyler Zombro with Tread, they have a lot of good information out there and do a lot of very good things. And and I've been lucky to actually call him a handful of times about, "Hey man, what you think on this and this and this?" He'll be like, "You need to do this," or "You need to," and he'll send me videos or whatever. So, but yeah, $20 a session for 2 hours, Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry, about to say Friday. We do them in groups. We want it competitive because we do a lot of competition stuff because you can't just turn on competitiveness. It's got to be bred into you a little bit, grown into you. And we want to get you in environments where you compete. But yeah, come see us, man. Bring all your buddies too. We want more as we can get.
Guys, I hope y'all heard that because there's a lot of folks out there charging a lot of money trying to help young people get better, swinging a bat and catching a ball. And, and they call themselves experts, and they might be. I tell people all the time, just because you play at the highest level of whatever sport you're involved in does not make you an expert in anything. You and I had this conversation with Jeff Fry back a few episodes ago. Jeff will tell you right quick, there's a lot of guys out there just robbing people. And I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see you guys are not doing that. You guys are actually trying to help these young people.
Yeah, well, and the thing I kind of am guilty of a little bit thinking is like, okay, should we charge people? Like if I didn't, and people don't really know the minor league salary, and I'm not here for a pity party or anything like that. That ain't what I'm getting at. But if we didn't have to, if we didn't have to charge people, we wouldn't. But we have to, make it a little bit worth our time. I saw on the internet the other day, and this is wrong, exactly. And I'm not naming the name, but some people charging $100 an hour to work with a kid. That's just, I question the integrity behind doing it at that point. Like that, there's no way there's that much value in what you're giving them for an hour. Like Lord, that's how you lay your head down at night trying to do something like that. But yeah, and there's definitely no experts. This is a hard game, and I'm sure if you talk to Pedro Martinez and whoever that's been the best at the best, they probably say a similar thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm constantly learning more every off season. So
yeah, even a 17-year pro can learn something.
Exactly. Nobody knows it all. I heard my dad say that one time. There's nobody that knows it all, so it's okay to know. But
maybe if we lucky, I bet you Paul Larry would give you even better advice than that, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hey, man. I tell you what, every time I'm around them, I learn something.
You learn something, huh? Hey, if you want to or not, he gives it to you.
Oh yeah. All right, man, well,
we tried to keep it at 30 minutes, and you shot right past that. So here's what we're going to do. Why don't you take the next couple of minutes, kind of give everybody like what your next month is going to look like in your life, and because you got spring training coming up, and kind of explain to them when you come out of spring training what your possibilities are.
So I'm going to go to spring training and basically rehab's just kind of continue. I'm not going to be throwing in big league spring training games, or possibly minor league spring training games. I might get a few controlled innings. With that being said, it's going to be very strict as how it's been the past few months. And then I'm assuming I'm going to be staying around Tampa to do my rehab. That is kind of a big question mark. I really don't know that. And all I know is this: when baseball season goes around this year, at some point in time, I'm speculating around June, I'll be a regular pitcher again. So I'm very thankful for that. Looking forward to that. But now until then, I just keep my rehab up. Shout out to Jeremy Lin. I guess it's Mid-South Rehab. Used to be First Place. I'm botching the name. I apologize because they changed up a little bit. But give a shout out to Jeremy Lin for my TJ rehab while I've been home. He's been awesome with changing my times, and when I'm busy, got to do something this day, he can move my time back or whatever. Go do that, and then I have doing all my flat ground work with my throwing program, my distance and all that. Then I got strength and conditioning and like agility and stuff. I'm starting to try to move a little more. I'm getting slower as I get older, so got to do all that. Man, I got to looking at it, man. I'm gonna be 25 by the time I get married. That's crazy.
25. Well, look at it like this: you're still younger than Stetson Bennett.
Yeah,
right,
that's a doozy there, man.
Okay, so y'all had some storm damage. So if people are gonna show up down there to try to catch up with you for spring training, they don't need to go to the old spring training facility. Where are you guys gonna have spring training at this year?
So the first 2 weeks in basically 9 games, we will be at the Wide World of Sports. That's when we're doing all our PFPs and our catch play and working out and arm care and all that. That'll be in Orlando, Wide World of Sports Orlando, right next to Disney. But first 2 weeks, so from February 14th to whatever date it is, 2 weeks later, we'll be there. Then we'll actually move to the Trop. So we'll be in the big league stadium doing all of our spring training stuff. So I'm curious to see how much chaotic how chaotic it's going to get. But it should be interesting. For me, it's going to be awesome. Anytime you can get in the big league stadium and get your work in, it'll be cool. And being around those guys, I'm looking forward to. Anytime you can be around a big leaguer, it's a learning experience, and I feel like I get better just from hearing information and seeing them go to work. So from I don't know, I guess it'd be another month or so of spring training games will actually be in the Trop. And then from that point forward, big question mark for me. I don't know if I'll go back to Port Charlotte. I don't know if I'll stay rehabbing there. I don't know if they'll send me with the AAA team. I don't know. So it'll be interesting. It's exciting. Just a different scenery is going to be cool. It sucks that our complex got destroyed. Hopefully that it'll get expedited on the rebuild process. So if not, we'll manage. The Rays talk about adapting, and this is going to be another little challenge for us, but it'll be good.
All right, man. I guess we're going to wind it down for tonight with the questions. Like I said, if there are any more that come in, we might jump back on in a couple weeks and try to answer a few more. I can't thank everybody enough for the ones that did submit questions. We had some fantastic questions, and I think Colby will agree with that. Even the one asking him about if his lady would put up with his nonsense. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so look, guys, I'm gonna just go and tell you, we love to do the Sunday live show, but as Colby's schedule is ever changing, we might have to do some stuff like this. We might have to jump on another night. We're gonna try to keep you guys in the loop. Even when Colby gets to spring training, we're going to continue to try to keep shows going. We might have to take a small sabbatical until, he's able to get lined up with what he's doing. And then, of course, when he makes it to the majors, you never know. You can't hide money. He might get too important to talk to me at that point. So we'll see.
Come on now.
Yeah, can't hide money. Yeah. So, but like I said, we're going to do what we can to keep the show going to you guys. And you never know. We might just pop up and do some live stuff right in the middle of a ball game. He claims the first time he ever pitches in the major leagues, we're going to do a live broadcast from the bullpen. We're going to see.
We're gonna see about it.
Yeah, we're gonna see what the Rays say about that.
Might get a fine. Might get me about a 15 grand fine slapped on.
But you make it to the majors, you can't hide that money. A fine ain't gonna bother you. So, all right. So, like I said, we've had a blast tonight. Colby, I always enjoy getting on here with you. And we're going to plan on seeing you guys next Sunday live. If that changes, we'll let you know. And can't thank you enough for tuning in. Colby, you got anything for them?
Yeah, I want to say thanks to the listeners. Thanks to, like I know Mr. Chad said he was praying for me. I really appreciate that. Thanks for everyone. I know there's been a lot of people. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning on. And very appreciative to be able to do this. So thank y'all.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all. If nothing changes, we'll see y'all live next Sunday right here on YouTube. Have a good one, guys.